Steve Dangle Podcast. Powered by Sports Interaction. Wanna bet?
Steve the Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Steve is feeling sick today. Did not have a good night. Did you end up bailing on Game Over Winnipeg, Steve?
I did.
Yeah. And so unfortunately, we're going to do a bit of a shorter show today because Steve doesn't care about Game Over Winnipeg. That's what it is. He doesn't like the city of Winnipeg. No, it's actually because Steve feels like shit. And
the province of Manitoba.
Yeah. Oh, the whole province, right.
Whole province.
The fact is that Steve feels like dog shit and we don't want him to have to feel like dog shit for too long. The fact that he's even here is a miracle. So Steve Dangle, a little bit of round of applause. That's great.
Oh, Steve, do you know what you have?
Feel this. What?
Do you know what you have?
What? How are you going to say a nasty thing?
I know he's just asking.
Oh,
what?
Do I actually know what I have?
Do you know do you know what you caught?
I thought you were going to say, "Oh, you got big babyitis." Sorry,
Man,
but when Adam and Jesse are your best friends, you got to go.
Yo, honestly,
have your dukes up all the time.
All week, Steve and Jesse have just been knocked out, man.
What's your line? You always say, "What's the point of enemies when you got a best friend like me and Adam?"
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
something along those lines.
No, but you don't know what you caught because this Wednesday you were fine.
Yeah, there's been gastrointestinal, which is GI thing going around my son's daycare. That is my number one suspect.
I would think so.
I don't think it was food poisoning because my wife and I ate the exact same things all day the day before I got ill. And boy, was I ill yesterday.
You're positive she didn't try to poison you?
No.
That
could have happened.
Positive. Okay.
No,
okay.
I'm not positive.
Not positive.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Listen.
I'm positive for whatever she gave me.
She's Scottish. Clan warfare is real, and you just never know, right? You just never know.
We had the wedding, said the vows. She said she loved me and everything, but I know part of her will never forgive me for being part English. So
right, exactly. In sickness and in health, but mostly sickness.
Yeah. And damn the bloody English.
That's right. Now, next week's going to be a bit of a special week. I'm fairly sure that we'll do 3 shows in studio and then do a quick light show on Friday in Kingston. It's going to be about half an hour and that sort of things for our live studio audience. And by light show, I mean, we're going to party, baby. And then we're all going to watch the Leafs game together at the Mansion Bar in downtown Kingston, which is going to be amazing. This show was supposed to happen 3 years ago in April, and we are officially finally making it happen. It's our first real live show since the start of the pandemic, which is way too long, and we're going to start doing more of those as well. And I also want to throw out there that the tickets for this sold out in 22 minutes, which is unbelievable. Cool. So thank you very much if you're coming. And obviously, for those who didn't get tickets, please be aware there will be more live shows and the door prizes, which are pretty darn good. I'm just getting those confirmed. I'll confirm them next week. Some pretty big experiences on the line, and those will be provided by Sports Interaction, which will be very great. So, guys, hooray for our first live show! I'm very excited about it. Hopefully, Steve's better by then.
Oh yeah,
Yay?
yeah.
So listen, we're gonna be a little bit laid back. We're gonna be a little bit relaxed. For those asking, I'm sorry, there will not be bachelor bios on this show. We want to be in person, right, Jess?
Yeah, we gotta delay it till Monday. It's not gonna be as fun if Steve's under the weather and we're not in person. And I got a lot of fun people to go through.
I feel
excited about these at least.
Jessica she's something.
Is she
something?
Oh, is she?
I feel so bad for making us do a remote show because this reminds me of our prison. This was our prison.
It was. Things are different now, though. I don't mind this. I'll tell you, when I felt bad was right before Christmas when I couldn't get out of bed and you guys were coming over doing the show. I was like, hi, and I was dead.
God. Yeah.
That was terrible.
Leafs won.
Yeah.
Pretty jacked.
Leafs did win. So
I wish I was able to do a better LFR for that game. I didn't give Mark Scheifele enough crap. That's so funny that Matthews did that to him. I was watching the highlights today. I'm like, that goal is better than I recall.
They were pretty. I mean, first off, let's just start first period. Jets are way outplaying the Leafs.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the shots were 14-5.
It looked ugly. It read ugly. But I kept looking up at the shot counter. I'm like, are you sure? I don't know. I didn't believe it. I want to know what the even strength numbers were, because I know the Jets lit the Leafs up on an early power play. They got like 4 shots, and the Leafs were never really able to come back from that in terms of shot equality. But to me, it didn't actually feel like the Jets outplayed the Leafs that badly. I'll believe you that they were the better team, but it didn't feel that huge.
And the Leafs still are able to score the first goal. Ilya Samsonov, the more he plays, the more I am filled with this isn't to the detriment of Matt Murray, but Ilya Samsonov's been really good. I mean, I don't think there's any other way to describe it.
Did you see his home record versus his away record?
No, I didn't. I was at the game, so I didn't see it.
Oh, you were there?
I was there.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. Random last tickets.
Happy 30th birthday, Jesse Pollock. Hope it was a good one. You got to watch his Jets lose.
I do feel bad for him. He had a rough night.
No.
Jesse Pollock gives Leafs fans enough shit that we don't have to feel bad for him,
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
He's like best friends with Pierre-Luc Dubois now. Like, I don't feel bad for him. That's so cool what he got to do with the Jet skills competition.
Yeah, it's sick. It's sick. The Jets do a great job of like honoring their fans. Like they do a great, like they really, the Leafs are very much like, you must come to us. Whereas the Jets are like, we'll come to you in terms of the fandom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, it's
really
awesome.
Cool.
So first period's out of the way, Leafs up 1-0. Second period, you start to see the play even out a little bit, and you see the Leafs. Not that they were, like you said, Steve, they weren't like crazy outplayed, I guess, but really start to find their form. And to me, the second period felt like, okay, so yes, the Jets are among the top teams in the Western Conference, but the Eastern Conference is just that much stronger.
Ooh, that's an interesting takeaway.
That's what it felt like. I mean, it's sort of like you just saw the Leafs, like the depth of talent coming out in wave after wave after wave. And it wasn't like the Leafs were playing a top team. I mean, Boston's in its own world in terms of top teams, but the Leafs are playing a top team when they're playing the Jets, and a team that always plays them hard. Whether or not the Jets really are doing well that season, they're always going to play the Leafs hard. They freaking hate the Leafs. The Leafs hate them. But you did see, to me, you started to see talent win out over the Jets who have less talent. Yeah.
I would say TSN won the Leafs that game.
What do you mean?
Because so before the game, they I think it was Dreger. They were talking about, what matchups are you looking at for this game? And he called Hellebuck versus Samsonov a mismatch. It's a mismatch. But I mean, Hellebuck's one of the best goalies in the league. Samsonov isn't even like the established starter of the team that he's on. I don't know if he ever has been, maybe 1 year with the Caps. And then later on in the game, Gord Miller, I think it was after Matthews had scored his first goal, starts talking about how, he's a lot of his numbers are very similar to last year. It's just all the multi-goal games. He had 15 last year. He's only got 1 this year. Boom, 2. So it was all TSN jinxing the Jets. And in all seriousness, I feel like we're maybe not putting enough on Samsonov outplaying Connor Hellebuck in that game. He did. And the goals Hellebuck allowed, I mean, oh boy, 2 of them are real beauties from Matthews. Like it's hard to put too much of that on Hellebuck, but that third one from Marner, who's also got like an underrated shot.
And that was shorthanded, by the way, too, the Marner.
Shorthanded.
Yeah.
Yeah, like those are all defensive lapses from the Jets, but those are it's one-on-one shooter versus goalie, and the goalie lost 3 times.
Yeah, but like I looked at those goals and I said, no goal last night was Connor Hellebuck's fault. Like you talked about Mitch Marner's shot. That was one hell of a shot. Like,
there were 3 pretty good shots.
He was alone on goal and he wired it top corner. Like that was an impressive shot, shorthanded, when you're not expecting it either. And okay, you want your goalie to make a save, but your defense is putting your goalie in that situation there. And I thought it was Winnipeg's inability to answer those game-breaking moments by the Leafs' top two players, and that's kind of why they lost.
The broadcast also talked about the Leafs' struggle in transition, and they ate the Jets alive in transition. It was hilarious.
The reason that
shout out TSN.
Period, the reason that the first period felt like, hey, the Jets didn't dominate despite the shots being like 15-5 was because that those 5 chances for the Leafs all came off the rush and were incredible and were high danger chances because their rush game was really good, and the Jets were peppering a lot of shots, but the Leafs were getting everything in transition.
Mm-hmm. Right off the top, like first 20 seconds of the game, it's Nylander Matthews, right, from the first period. By the way, I misquoted. Matthews scored in the first 8 seconds of the second period. It was so there were no goals in the first period, but 8 seconds in, and then another, within 5 minutes of that, he scored again. And you gotta think if like, first off, again, Jesse Pollock, I think he tweeted, he was like, it's like, sure love going to see the Jets, and now I have Austin Matthews light us up. But it's it is sort of a it seems like there's been a lot of people, like I think I saw some journalist today, and I can't even remember who it was, so I apologize, but he tweeted about where Zach Hyman is in points. And then and he's
he's ahead of Matthews.
Yes, he is. And then just tagged the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I thought, I was like, oh, that's a good troll job. Like, I'd never heard of this guy. He's got like 20,000 followers, obviously, like, and it might also be just that, like, most people, when they would tweet that, they would just tweet like hashtag Oilers, hashtag Leafs, but he tweeted at Oilers, at Leafs. So it's sort of like, relevant to both fan groups or whatever, but
it's way funnier.
It's way funnier.
Good for him.
But I think with Matthews, to me anyway, there's starting to be that, and you could look at the Scheifele Deke as one of them, where there's like, it almost feels like it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and it's about to happen. Something's about to pop off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You saw that coming?
What do you mean?
I didn't. Like the move on Scheifele. Oh, you mean Matthews in general? Like, we're waiting on him.
Like, and he's been very, very good.
I thought you meant that play developing. I'm like, I don't know, man. It took 8 seconds.
No. I definitely mean like there's Austin Matthews season. Because like there are people out there who are trying to call it a disappointment. It's not. It's just he's not scoring 60 goals, which happens once a decade.
For all the complaining I do about this team at times, I've never once been like, oh no, Matthews is bad now. Like, it's always either been he does at times look uncomfortable, right? Mm-hmm. But then he takes those couple days off. He's looked fantastic since, and his two-way game on another level, like completely on another level.
He blocked a shot last night that was it was going in.
Yep, great shot block. Not the first time he's done it. Unreal on the back check. Unreal defensive stick. The Leafs have really underrated defensive sticks this year. It's almost like they invite the cross ice pass for the one-timer. They entice you into it, and they pick it off almost every time. And if they don't, someone's there like to block it. And they do a lot of great things. They do a lot of great and wonderful things. And I think it starts with Austin Matthews.
Mark Giordano scored the empty netter.
The best.
But I think what people wanted to talk about was the bad tripping call for Mark Giordano. And the call wasn't bad. It was a bad play on Giordano's part.
I was like,
No, it was a perfectly. No. I think what Leaf fans are a little bit worried about, and maybe this comes from just fatigue because he plays 23 minutes a night or has been.
Yeah.
There have been a couple in the last couple of games that have not looked good for Mark Giordano. The out of character penalties that really, putting them down 5-3 like that wasn't great, Bob. So what do you chalk that up to? The guy's a Norris caliber defenseman. He was the captain of the Calgary Flames for 50 years. He's played great for the Leafs this year. Is it time to give him a break?
I think I'd be open to resting Mark Giordano. I think he'd probably beat you up in attempt. to do that. You know, it's funny when people choose to say, this is how I feel tonight. So Mark Giordano takes too many penalties or whatever, and people chose that one last night. I see that as a penalty killer doing his job, and sometimes shit happens. But I have thought for a long time, I don't know if I've ever really said it on the podcast, but we've said it amongst each other, like just talking. He does take way too many penalties. There aren't many things to criticize with Mark Giordano, but that's one of them. So I just looked it up. He is second on the team in penalty minutes with 41. Bunting, no surprise, is number one with 54. He is the top defenseman in that category by an incredible margin. He's got 41. Justin Hall's got 20. I'm willing to bet some of that came from that game against the Flyers, where there were probably misconducts and stuff like that. A lot of them are minors. And for as good of a player as he is, he does put the team shorthanded a lot. And that would be my one criticism.
If this is a different sport, and we're in a different situation where you don't have hockey players who need to tough it out, I'm playing Mark Giordano 60 games in a year. Like, there's no reason that Mark Giordano needs to be playing 82 games. Like, you should Kawhi Leonard this. You should NBA star. We're resting you on back-to-back nights. You're playing 70 games max. Like, you're getting all these rest days where you need it, because we need Mark Giordano for the playoffs. There's no reason we should be running him out all the time when the Leafs have an abundance of defensemen. Like, I get it. I get that the regular season is really important, but you need to the postseason is the most important. And we've established here that the Leafs have extra defensemen that can fit into this lineup. Give Jordy Ben some more time. Give Connor Timmins some more time. Utilize the roster that you have that is has an abundance of defensemen. Give Mark Giordano a dozen games off for this back half of the season.
See, I think we're underselling the important role that Giordano has played, though, because they haven't really had an abundance of defensemen. They've had a number of guys come in and surprise, and we're happy with them. But Brody is on IR. Muzzin's on LTIR. That's no surprise. But Victor Mete, who I think is kind of important to this equation, is also on LTIR. And I don't know where Carl Dahlstrom is there as well. And he probably, definitely would have played NHL games this year, given the way that things went. So you're basically...
They have 7 defensemen right now on the lineup.
Yeah.
Who's the extra?
It's Jordy Ben, Giordano, Timmins, Sandin, Liljegren, Hall, Riley. That's 7.
Did Timmins not play yesterday?
No, Timmins wasn't in the lineup.
Right. Oh yeah. So they do have one extra. It would be nice if you identify a softer target on the schedule, like, you know how you'll play a backup goalie against a team that is frankly not quite as good. They're playing Montreal on Saturday.
It'd be nice.
This goes into convincing Mark Giordano that he needs to sit down and rest his body
against Montreal.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to do that.
Well, hold on a second here.
The Sens next Friday.
I'm sorry, but doesn't Sheldon Keefe hold the lineup card? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I do feel like at a certain point we're going to have to, the MLSE has a lot of advanced knowledge about what resting guys can do, and we've seen it. And maybe Mark Giordano wants to play against Montreal on Saturday, but is next week okay? What are we doing next week?
Are they just trying the way we all do at like holiday time? Are they just trying to get to the All-Star break?
Yeah.
Maybe they're just, we got, 5 games left? We're just trying to get to the All-Star break. And funny enough, I was looking at games where you could rest guys, and I'm like, they got a home and home against the Blue Jackets. Oh, wait, that's right after the All-Star break. You're not going to rest guys after the All-Star break.
You could, like, the game after the All-Star break, you give them that game, so then their All-Star break is even longer.
Longer.
Yeah.
Listen, of all the guys on this team you can give an arbitrary rest day to, surely it makes sense to give the oldest active skater in the NHL that rest.
Right.
Definitely.
Oh. I guess we'll see. So obviously the Leafs are now playing Montreal in Montreal on Saturday night. Do you start Murray or do you start Samsonov?
Oh boy.
Because we got to start asking that question now.
No, I know.
We haven't asked. I have held back on that question for 45 games, but now I think we got to ask.
Is the plan just you keep flip-floppy? You just one after the other, like nobody gets two in a row? Yeah, I don't know.
You know, I don't think Murray playing bad one game and Samsonov playing great 1.5 games, should be the be-all, end-all for the playoff conversation and everything. You know what? Samsonov struggled on the road. Murray's been pretty good. Mm-hmm. And if Murray, let's say Murray is your backup. Let's say Samsonov won that job. What's he doing playing the Habs? Play Murray.
Well, I mean, okay. I would say that you probably have him playing the Habs because it's the Habs, right? And you want to beat the Habs every time.
You just want to lock down this. Well, then play them all 82. You know, that's why you have a backup goalie. You know, you want to win every game. But you know, there's strategy to this. So I would say start Murray on Saturday.
Okay.
But I think I can say two things. I think Samsonov's the better goalie right now.
Yeah.
Start Murray on Saturday.
Jesse, your thoughts?
I think you stick with the plan. I think it's Murray's game Saturday because that's kind of just how the season's gone. They're going back and forth and you're seeing what you got. And I agree with one bad game for Murray is not who Matt Murray is. And Samsonov's played great, but like he's played a game and a half here. Give him another day of rest. Go back to Murray. See if Murray can get his game back. And if he doesn't, then we're having a different conversation Sunday morning. And we're like, okay, maybe it's time to give Samsonov the reins here. But even at that point, like there's so much runway here to the end of the season. We're still only 46 games. We got a little bit of time here before we got to make a final decision. Wait as long as you can until making that decision.
I'm just wondering, like, season. When do you start riding the hot hand? What game? What game are you looking at? Okay, we're riding the hot hand. Because really, I mean, if you wait till game 60, that's not a lot left. There's 22 at that point, right?
Right.
Is that enough?
I don't know. That's a very interesting question because, like, Keefe, he might look at it and say, we're at hot hand territory. Like, Samsonov's been great. Here's your back-to-back starts, 2.5 games played here. Like, I could definitely see it happening that way. I wouldn't. I would just take my time with it and have Matt Murray play. But if Keefe goes in that direction, I wouldn't blame him at all. He's
just like, I mean, you guys saw that Kyle Connor glove save that he made. Like, ice cold shit, right? He stood him up, did not drop to his knees at all. Like, that was one of those where I'm like, man, this goalie's confident. There's confidence. There's cool. And Kyle Connor, I know he's not leading the team in goals, but to me, he's still their best goal scorer. He is. I think Scheifele is like a couple goals ahead of him or whatever.
He had a slow start, Kyle Connor, but he's picked it up lately.
Yeah. I, not knowing what the future holds, January 20th, at the time we're shooting this, I would say Murray, Montreal. On Monday, they got the Islanders, do Samsonov. Wednesday, they got the Rangers, do Samsonov. Friday, they got the Sens, do Murray.
Okay.
Also,
there you go.
Adam, we should have learned this from Gordon Miller. Samsonov.
Samsonov.
The player wants his name.
Is it Samsonov?
No, it's Samsonov. I'm pretty sure that's in Russian. I think it's Samsonov.
But what did he say?
Yeah, because he was Samsonov in Washington, right? And then this season he said, "I want to be Samsonov."
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll stop doing it.
Samsonov.
Right? I didn't know that. I thought I was doing it correctly.
I don't know. Maybe I have it backwards, but I'm pretty sure Gord says Samsonov on the broadcast.
He's pretty good at that. I saw
if it was a memory competition and like whose memory I rate out of the three of us, it's going to be Jesse at the top every time. So I'm going to trust you on that one. Steve and I don't have the best memories. We just don't.
No. For certain things, but no.
Jesse, I've just sent these over and I'm hoping you can bring them up on screen or edit it in after, however you want to do this. The new All-Star jerseys. How do we feel about the throwback to the mid to late 90s look, guys, with a little bit of Florida flair?
Those are the sexiest damn All-Star jerseys they have had in many years. And they're exactly to a T perfection what a reverse retro jersey should be. Yeah. Because it is a retro, it's a version of a retro jersey. It goes back to the 96 All-Star game with Owen Nolan pointing at Dominic Hasek, sniping top corner and everything. But they didn't just redo it like the Caps did with their, black reverse retro jerseys, which we all acknowledge are amazing. But they didn't just redo the All-Star jerseys they had from that year. They put a hometown twist on it. Miami Vice. I said Vice City because Vice City's better. But it is Grand Theft Auto. It's a very successful game franchise. Those are perfection. I want them on and in my body. Those are incredible jerseys. Huge kudos. When was the last time I raved about jerseys like this? I love them.
It's true. It's true.
In my body.
They are sexy as hell.
I am ready.
So is the All-Star game cool again?
No.
It'll look cool.
It'll look cool, which is good. That's an improvement, is it not? But Jesse, you say no.
No. The All-Star game's always a wet fart. We always the NHL, like even with the players the extra players that got into the game, like I don't think anybody was overhyped about that either. Like I feel like they wanted Timmy Stutz in there. He doesn't make it. Like a lot of the fan votings didn't really have an impact.
So it's funny. Do you guys follow hockey images that precede unfortunate events? It's got 50,000 followers. Hockey images that precede unfortunate events, and they just posted the picture 2023 fan vote, because essentially not a single the theory is that not a single fan vote was counted, right? And that probably goes back to the that's what they're suggesting, and I tend to believe them. Let's look at who the quote unquote fans voted in.
Can you send this? Yeah,
absolutely. I can send it to you for sure. Hang on. You should follow that account, by the way. They're freaking hilarious. So for the Central Division, Rantanen, McKinnon, and Hellebuck got in. For the Atlantic, Matthews, Pasternak, Vasilevsky. For the Pacific, Horvat, Draisaitl, Stuart Skinner. And for the Metropolitan, Fox, Panarin, and Sorokin. I don't know, zero surprises. The most perhaps surprising on that list is Stuart Skinner. Well, surprising. Like you're talking about, all of those guys are bona fide stars. Stuart Skinner, if he keeps playing like this, will be, but every single one of those players is a star.
I love the dude getting into the All-Star game for the first time, and you also don't know if he'll ever get in again. Who knows? Maybe he'll be in it 5, 6, 7 more times. You don't know. But it's a little weird that one fan base was able to vote in 2 players from the same team. So what is it? McDavid, Draisaitl, and Stuart Skinner for the Oilers?
Yeah.
And you got to go to an All-Star game to realize how much this means. The Panthers fan base is never going to win a fan vote against.
No.
They're never going to. That's probably part of the reason that they're hosting this thing, is to help grow that fan base, because that's the whole point of an All-Star game. But the All-Star game is going to be in Florida. And this isn't Oilers fans' fault or anything like that, but the All-Star game is going to be in Florida. They're going to have one representative, and Alexander Barkov's not even going to be there. The All-Star game is in Florida, and there's going to be no Barkov. That's wild.
It's a good point too, Steve, where maybe, people are going to be like, this is unfair, but whatever. It's the All-Star game. Who gives a shit? What if
tickets?
The host city maybe should get 3 slots, 3 guarantees,
at least 2.
Yeah,
for crying out loud.
I agree. If we're going to grow the game, and they're not doing so hot, the Panthers this year.
No.
You want to create some spice around that, and if their big stars are not getting in, not that some other player wouldn't deserve it, but believe me, NHL players are more than happy to either attend and not play, or just go on vacation.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they're going to be hurt by it. So I don't know. I feel a little bit like, I agree with you, Steve. I think maybe that should be a consideration. And also, I like the idea of a fan vote, but I would like to see the numbers, and I would like to see how real they actually are. Because I think after the John Scott thing, I don't think the NHL's ever going to allow you to actually vote in again, ever.
But Adam, they're very trustworthy and good.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
I don't know if I agree with the idea that the home city should get like a certain amount of slots, because I don't agree with the all 32 teams should get an amount of slots. Like, I feel like you should just take the best players. And we have here a collection of guys who the NHL wants to be there, but we don't have a collection of the best all-stars. I don't think anybody would look at these 32 players plus the extras and say these are the all-stars and the best performing players. Like, it's a collection of players that the NHL wants there. And it's not true to the fan vote. It's not true to the stats on the board. It's like nobody seems to be happy in this situation, because like the fans really wanted Cole Caulfield and Timmy Stützle, and they got a lot of the like Twitter
Caulfield's
buzz.
not going?
No, Caulfield's not in there, is he?
No.
I'm pretty sure he lost the fan vote.
Not as of yet.
He lost it to like Vasi, right? No. So like Caulfield's not going to be there, and he was one of the big fan votes in, and like they're not happy because they don't get these fun guys that they want to vote on who might not be the all-stars. And then it's not true to the name of all-star in that we don't have the best collection of players. So I don't know. I think it's a mess every year, and it's whatever, because it's about the home city. It's about having all the fans there to see all the stars at the game. Like, that's what it's about. It's about the in-person experience. And if I'm trying to look at this as like an all NHL team and the best collection of players from that year and representing like history, like that's not what I'm getting out of this. So I need to tone down my expectations here.
I think I understand the emotion that you're trying to convey, Jesse. And I think we need to file this under, all right. What do you think? Is that the emotion you're trying to convey?
Is that it?
Is that what we're doing?
I guess.
Like, fine.
Right.
Is that what you're trying?
Fine is better than all right.
But you got to say it like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would spell that phonetically. Fine.
Yeah. It's fine.
Fine.
Yeah. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Fine.
That's all right. It's fine. Let's just keep saying it.
Fine. Well, now it's losing its meaning.
Hey, as a small business owner or hiring manager, you know what success in 2023 is going to look like to you, and you know it depends on your team members and the people you surround yourself with.
And mine was how big of a boat I can buy. That's success to me. 2023, big boat boy.
Now buying a boat's cool. I got it.
Okay. LinkedIn Jobs can't guarantee you a boat, but can guarantee you higher quality candidates and more efficiently find, like, ways to more efficiently find them. I wish there was a way I could say that, but the boat threw me off.
Good talking.
Not gonna lie.
Good talking, bro.
LinkedIn Jobs helps you quickly attract qualified candidates. Listen, we run a small business too, and it is very, very hard to find the right people with limited resources. You want to pay them properly, and you want to make sure they can come in and feel empowered to do their job. And LinkedIn Jobs can help you with that. It makes it easy to rate applicants based on your job qualifications. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find qualified candidates that you want faster. Post your job for free right now at linkedin.com/SDP. That's linkedin.com/SDP to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Hey, so listen, Hockey Helps the Homeless is coming up with all the proceeds going to Durham Youth Services, February 10th at Del Park Homes Arena in Oshawa. It's going to be your chance to play with pros, ex-NHL players, and women's Olympic team players, which is kind of cool.
What?
Yeah. You can register.
Great rink.
You can. Is it a great rink?
It's a great rink. It was right up the street from my old place. It's where I taught myself how to skate.
There you go. They actually call it the Steve Dangle Arena.
Memorial Arena.
Steve Dangle Memorial Arena.
Hockey Hall of Famer Steve Dangle.
That's right. You can register as a free agent, or you can go in with a sponsored team. Also, they're looking for volunteers too. So if you want to do some volunteering and get involved, this is an amazing cause. You can register at hockeyhelpsthehomeless.com, or you can email Emma, our good friend Emma Langlois, Emma at hhth.com for more information. Hockey Helps the Homeless, February 10th, Del Park Homes Arena, also known as the Steve Dangle, used to live here in Oshawa Arena. Memorial Arena. Sorry. Yeah.
Sick barn.
Going into the Leafs game on Saturday, guys, we got a lot of Ontario-born players on Sports Interaction playing the Leafs. Okay, so I want to know, yay or nay, if you're taking any of these guys to score against the Leafs on Saturday. You ready? The Ontario-borns. Are you good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was trying to think. I'm like, they have a lot, really?
They do. 19 plus. Please play responsibly. sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. Here we go. Josh Anderson, Ontario-born. Does he score?
Josh?
No, but he typically does well against the Leafs.
Jesse, are you taking that one?
Josh Anderson goal? Yes.
You're taking that?
Yeah, no, Steve, you said it in the back half. He does well against the Leafs.
I know. I'm thinking about it. I don't want to bet on any of them.
He brings it. Okay, next one. Mike Hoffman. By the way, the result by Anderson and Hoffman's results are 3.5 to 1. So it's 3.5 times your money.
You know what's funny? I was about to look up their stats, but it's the Leafs, so it doesn't matter.
Right. That's why these bets are fun. Is Toonie Steve putting one down on Mike Hoffman?
No.
Okay. What about not Toonie Jesse?
No, but you can also like bet the no. So
yes.
Oh, yes, well then I'm betting the no.
I'm betting the no.
Okay. Michael Pezzetta goal versus the Leafs. Are you betting the yes, which is 5.5 times your money, or no, which is 1.11 times your money? You can win 11 cents on a $1 bet.
Steve,
I'll take that because it's funny.
Okay. 2 more. Rem Pitlick. A yes at a 5.50 or no at a 1.11.
No.
Okay. And I'll do. There's a few more. There's Arbor Jack Guy and Jonathan Kovacelik, but Nick Suzuki.
There we go.
2.75 times your money if he scores. Your no is a 1.4.
Wait, no. Go back.
Who are the players, Adam?
Jonathan Kovacelik?
Kovacevic?
I don't know. Freaking hell. I don't know.
Where'd the L come from, man?
I don't know, man.
Kovacelik?
Listen. Let me be creative, okay? Don't judge me.
No, Adam, you're doing it wrong. You got to see Steve. Fine.
Sorry, idiot. You with your correct pronunciation. So yeah, do you take Nick Suzuki to score because he plays 85 minutes a game? 2.75 times your money.
Yes, I've watched enough Nick Suzuki. He's amazing.
Jesse, you putting yes on that?
I was waiting for you to get to that one. I think that's the moneymaker.
That's the money. Okay.
Yes on Nick Suzuki.
I like that.
Pezzetta scoring is the moneymaker. Just
Arbor Jack Guy's up there too.
I know, but I was like, he's not going to score.
It's a no, but
yeah, he's 6 times your money though if he does.
I was shocked by how few Leaf fans were talking about this yesterday. Did you see that Arbor Jack Guy tried to fight Radko Gudas?
And Gudas ran away.
And Gudas wouldn't go him.
Yes. And did you see Jack Guy's quote after the game?
Yes, I did.
Said he plays hard. I'll give him that, but he will not answer the bell.
And specifically, he said he was running after players' knees all game, which is what he did to Engvall.
I'll read the quote. He says he never does in terms of answering the bell. I don't know what's up with that guy. He'll be taking runs at guys' knees all game. He does play hard. I'll give it to him. But at some point, you've got to show that you're going to be able to do that.
Right. And he never does. Does Radko Gudas fight? He scrums, but he doesn't fight.
He has. We could look up his fight card.
I'm Gudas, that's embarrassing. Rookie Arbor Jack Guy? This kid who can't even drink in America is tougher than you?
Well,
he's 21, isn't he?
Is he 21? Yeah.
You get to that point in your career, though, where you're Radko Gudas' age and these young guys are coming up and they feel invincible. And you're like, I don't know, man. If something goes wrong, I could miss the playoffs. Right? He may just not want to do that anymore.
Arbor is 21, by the way. Steve, you are correct. He can drink in it.
Yeah. Gudas fought JT Miller this season.
Well, okay, that's a bit of a mismatch. I'm sure, Gudas is going to take that challenge every time.
No. Last season, he took on Delorier, who's a tough customer, Austin Watson, who's a tough customer. He fought JT Miller last year as well. What's going on? And he fought Pizzetta. Interesting.
Wow, that's like one of those fights where you're like, I don't really care which side wins here.
His fight card,
I can't cheer for you.
I'm looking at it on Hockey Fights. He's actually got a fascinating one because it's like a bunch of tough customers, and then it's like Yanni Gord, JT Miller twice, Ryan DeZingle, Kyle Palmieri, Ross Colton. Anyway. Weird guy that
Radko Gudas, we've established, doesn't fight anyone who's close to Radko Gudas in size and stature.
Except for the couple times where he did. It's very...
Like the Austin Watson one, like, that's a tough guy. You know, there's a couple in there. The Nick Delorier you mentioned, yeah. So, like...
He's just being picky and choosy lately for some reason. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like... Is he like, oh, Zach Aston Reese?
Or maybe he's like, I don't want to waste my time. I don't know. But he was, I don't know. He was big mad against the Leafs, big mad. And I'm wondering, I'm wondering the next time they play the Canadians, I wonder if Gudas actually has to step up and fight him now. Because I think that's what he's asking for, right? It's like, you better fight me. Otherwise, I'm going to laugh you out of the league.
This is, earlier in the season, we compared Jack-Eye to a young Milan Lucic. And Habs fans will remember all too well. Lucic punked Komisarek for a long, long time. Why won't you fight me? Why won't you fight me? Why won't you fight me? And then he finally got him to fight, and he beat the brakes off that gentleman. And Komisarek was never quite the same defenseman.
Right.
So the Leafs offered him a multi-year contract.
Of course. Why not keep him here for 4 years?
Why not?
Can I ask you guys a question about Florida / the Eastern Conference?
Yeah.
No.
So, I can't ask Steve. Well, Adam, there's one spot left in the second wildcard spot. Pittsburgh, New York, Florida.
Which New York? Rangers?
Islanders.
Okay.
How dare you? Rangers are way up in third in the Metro. So, there's one spot. We got Pittsburgh, we got the Islanders, we got Florida, we got Buffalo. Buffalo's at 47, Pittsburgh's in that spot at 51. Of those 4 teams, we can throw in Detroit too.
I might throw in Detroit, yeah.
Let's throw in Detroit. Detroit's been not been playing great, 4-5-1 the last 10, but we'll throw them in too. So of those 5 teams, that one spot, who you got?
I want it to be Buffalo. It's not going to be, but I want it to be because I love the story. I love the idea that they get in and they have to play the Bruins and they got nothing to lose and the Bruins have everything to lose. And what a great story that would be, right? Because you're talking about, like, remember when Tom Brady and the New England Patriots went like undefeated the entire year right up until the Super Bowl where they lost?
That was fun. I like that.
You could have, like, if you have a Sabres team with nothing to lose going up against the last dance Bruins, what a story. Now, if the Bruins come in and run their show while the Sabres learn something. But if that series becomes interesting and you somehow get the Boston Bruins on their heels, I don't know. Like, it's almost like sometimes with younger teams, it almost feels like you're ignorant enough not to know that you shouldn't be doing that you shouldn't be winning against these types of teams. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I want it to be the Sabres. I think it'll be the Pens. I can't ever bet against Crosby.
I'm going to go with the Pens too. Like right now, things are going great for Florida. The Islanders have 2 wins in their last 10. Ooh. That's not going to be a thing that lasts. And the Penguins only have 3 in their last 10. That's probably not going to be a thing that lasts. So you got to rely on both teams ahead of you maintaining the worst stretches of their season. Both of them. It does have to be both of them. It's not good enough that it's one of them. So tough to go with Florida there, even though they're hot. I'll go with Pittsburgh. They're all kind of bad right now. The only team above 500 in their last 10 out of the teams that we mentioned is Florida. And that's just rare.
Adam Wild, you got to the edge of the cliff and you didn't jump. The correct answer is Buffalo Sabres, everybody.
Yeah.
They're on fire. They can do it. Let's go. Young team. Nothing to lose, like you said. Like, I'd love to see the Buffalo Sabres in the playoffs, and I think they could do it.
Asterisk, though. They'll only be able to do it if they wear the goat head jerseys.
Yes. Agreed.
Their record with those jerseys is it's really good.
Concerning.
Yeah, and like if they get the goaltending they need from whatever combination of Ukko-Pekka and Eric Comrie and Craig Anderson or whoever they need to run out there, if they get that goaltending,
Karel Vejmelka.
No, there's a possibility. You never know. Maybe even, dare I say, Thatcher Demko.
No.
Everything is on sale in BC.
No way. Get out of here.
Send them out east.
No way. Vancouver is not smart enough to give up yet.
I think they finally got there.
You do? You actually think Vancouver's there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're not
I think
there.
so.
They're not there. I don't think they're there. And I love Jim Rutherford's 53-minute press conference the other day, but I want to ask you guys. And I have done, full disclosure, zero prep on this. Okay.
Oh, let's go.
Okay. This is a completely off the top of my head. And I can't wait for the comments to go, you don't know shit. And I'm going to be straight up with you. I don't know shit. But I do have to ask you, with 2 wins in the last 10 games, missing the playoffs last year, what happens to the New York Islanders if they maintain a pace on or just slightly above this the rest of the year? Let's say they finish 10th in the conference. Let's say they finish 9th in the conference. At what point, after 4 years there, Lou Lamoriello running the show, the organization is much better than it used to be run. They've had some serious success. Actually, this is 5 years of Lou Lamoriello. At what point do you say, okay, you've changed the coach, your goalie's really good, Sorokin's in the All-Star game, but we can't score, and this continues to be a problem, and we can't solve it, or we haven't solved it. At what point do you say, okay, maybe it's time for a fresh set of eyes? You don't need to rebuild it, but is there a fresh set of eyes, a new way at looking at the painting in the Islanders' future based on zero prep? Steve, Jesse.
I'm really upset with the way that you framed the question, because I thought you were just going to ask a general what's going to happen, and I was going to say Lou Lamoriello 5-year contract extension.
No.
You know how we've in the past talked about trades that didn't happen, and then I just feel like you don't go from being on the verge of trading for JT Miller to being satisfied with your roster. You know what I mean? We need to go out and we need to get JT Miller. Oh, we didn't get JT Miller? Oh, okay, it's fine. I think the Islanders, who are silent assassins, potentially have a big swing in them.
Okay. I mean, they've allowed some of the least amount of goals in the league, but they've also scored in the bottom third. And that seems to be the problem, right? Is they can't score goals. They're going to have to solve that.
Yeah.
And they're in a really tight race.
You could have just kept Barry Trotz if you were going to be Barry Trotz.
Right. Because it seems like that again, doesn't it?
Maybe it's just all the team is capable of. Just suffocating defensively and can't bloody score.
Yeah, but you have to get into the playoffs before that works. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, they are the quintessential I don't want to play you if you get in team.
Yes.
Right now.
Yeah, like that would be Boston would freaking hate playing those guys. I think Boston would win, but I don't think they would like it. You know?
No, it'd be an awful experience for all involved.
Hey Jess, I sent you a Ryan Miller clip. Did you guys see this last night?
I saw that he got presented a sword.
That's right. He was honored at the Sabres game. That's pretty sweet, right? Like they're just given a sword for being good at hockey.
That's the sickest thing ever. I said that yesterday while shivering and being on the verge of throwing up. I was like, oh, that's sick.
Yeah. Jesse, are you able to play the audio? Can we play it?
Yeah.
I wanted the entire city to wake up in a good mood because we beat the Maple Leafs the night before.
That's it.
That's the clip. It's a part of his. It's part of his speech, but he's taking a shot.
I didn't hear that part.
He's taking a shot at the Leafs. I just wanted to get your reaction to Ryan Miller.
Why? What would the league ever do if the Leafs went away?
I mean, there'd be nobody to talk about.
It would just stop existing.
I think, Steve, you got to accept, like, and I'm sure you have, that, like, we're Darth Vader, man.
Oh, I know. Yeah, like I seem to recall Darth Vader winning a bit more.
I have such a problem with this. I don't understand.
I don't have a problem with it.
The entirety of my life, how the Leafs are the big bad guys when they don't win.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody looked at the Chicago Cubs as the big bad guys when they didn't win a World Series for 150 million years. Nobody looked at the Boston Red Sox as the big bad guys when they sucked. They were the big bad guys when they started winning. Leafs don't win. How are we evil?
Like Team Rocket. They're like Team Rocket from the Pokemon animated series.
Get over us.
And they lose at the speed of light. And
and for the first 7 seasons, we're going to have the same bad Pokemon to throw at you, coughing.
Yeah. But like, the Yankees are the evil empire because they win so much. The Leafs suck and have sucked forever and are the evil empire. What the fuck?
That's right. Yeah. I
mean, really
that's because of parody, though, Jesse.
The worst of both worlds.
It's literally, it's almost like it's like a Marvel movie. It's like the bad guy's not really that bad and the good guys are winning anyway.
I feel like if we were like weepy and teary-eyed when the Leafs finally win the cup, everyone will be disappointed. Like, I feel like it's our role to maintain the order of things, that if the Leafs ever do win the cup, we have to be assholes. Complete assholes.
Really?
Oh yeah.
It's not a sentimental moment. It's a fuck you.
It'll be the worst moment in NHL history.
Wouldn't that just make us more hateable, which is makes it more fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we will not be the lovable, they finally did it team. No one, if the Leafs ever make the cup final, it will not be go Maple Leafs.
No.
So that you can finally do it for the first time in forever. Mm-hmm. It'll be, think of how much funnier it'll be if they go all the way to the cup final and lose.
Oh.
Nobody's
I mean, as a Leaf fan, you're going to be thinking that a little bit, right?
Oh, it's my worst nightmare.
Yeah. All right. Let me pose a question, okay? Jesse and Steve.
Cup final.
Would you rather the Leafs go to the cup final and lose in Game 7 in overtime in your lifetime, or never go at all?
Oh.
Why are those my two options?
Those are your two options.
Those are so ass.
I'd rather the cup final.
Would you?
Yeah, I think so.
Tell me why.
I think coming close, it'll feel better. Like because you can excuse away an overtime Game 7 loss. Like, you can say, like, that team had everything. They reached their potential, and then they just got unlucky on a bounce, you know? Sidney Crosby's golden goal went off the referee. Like, there could have been a lucky bounce that caused the Leafs to lose that Game 7 game, and I can ease my brain in that way, as opposed to the team never got there and they never did it. That's my thinking. Steve, what's yours?
Luckily for the both of you, I have the correct answer. And that is, fuck you for asking.
I actually want to know in the comments, if you're a Leafs fan, or even if you're not, just make it about the Leafs, because everything is about the Leafs.
All right.
So when you leave a comment, this is what I want to know. Whether you're commenting on Apple Music or you're commenting on YouTube. All right. Would you rather the Leafs never go to the finals or lose in Game 7? If you hate the Leafs, you can answer this question. If you love the Leafs, you can answer this question. Because everybody is going to have an opinion.
Canucks and Panthers fans, help us out.
Sens fans. Oh, no, they didn't lose in 5. They lost in 5. They didn't lose in 7.
They lost in 5.
Well, and
Panthers got swept.
The Flames lost in 7, didn't they?
Flames, yeah, but they have a cup, though.
Yeah, they do.
No, it's the Canucks are the ones you're talking about. Like,
Golden Knights don't count.
Yeah, Golden Knights don't count. They're brand new. Canucks were fucking devastating.
Oh,
both times.
Oh.
Both times.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, brutal. Absolutely
Game 7,
brutal.
both times. Torture.
Oh. Have you guys seen the rumors about Cole Caulfield, speaking of him not making the All-Star game, his extension? Like what the number is probably going to be. So the rumor today, and again, I don't think that this is close to being signed, but the rumor today is that it's 7 times 7. Do you believe that is good value for the Canadians, for Cole Caulfield? Like, is that a good contract all around? Is he underselling himself?
It's a discount.
What would you do?
That is, the contract that David Pastrnak is currently on,
which is the 6-year, $6 million,
6.666 Devil Satan, something like that.
Yes.
That and how damn good that contract is, and he's going to go to free agency and make a bank heist. Caulfield 7 times 7 has the potential to be as good as that current Pasta contract.
I want to ask you guys a question, because when Pasta signed that deal, he had over 60 career, or he had 59 career goals. He had a 70-point season under his belt. And obviously after that's crazy, because he goes from, he went from 26 points in 51 games to 70 points in 75 games. And the next year, 80, 81, 95, and then shortened year 48, and then 77, 60. He's been unbelievable. Cole Caulfield has somewhat similar numbers in terms of goals, 53 goals. His points were a little bit sort of less than Pasta's were at this point. Cole Caulfield's on pace for about 60-something points. Do you think that their trajectory could be kind of similar? Like, are you looking at that and going, okay, the 7 times 7 is the new updated 6 times 6?
Right. I think we're doing the wrong comparison here. I think the Matthew Boldy is saying, hello, I just signed a deal. Matthew Boldy's deal was 7 times 7, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. Yes.
And the Cole Caulfield, I think, they're on like kind of the same tier. If we're putting players in tiers, they're kind of there. And he's had a better career so far in terms of goal production. And that's kind of what the rate is going for these players. If you're going to sign early at this early stage in your career and buy out some of those free agency years, that's kind of the number. And Cole Caulfield, I think, is given a discount because I see his career going a little further ahead of Matthew Boldy, and that's what he got.
It's crazy. Matthew Boldy has like 69 career points.
Nice.
And he's already got that. It's nice.
Sacks.
It's good for him. It's good for him. Like, it's sort of, I find it really interesting. And I think the Wild had to do that. They are in cap hell for at least, another year and a half. So they're going to have to sign those guys, but it's amazing that, these guys less than 100 points in the league, or here's $50 million.
Yeah, well,
that's great. Good.
I think Caulfield's such a interesting case study because his lack of career resume is obvious.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, the reasons for it are so obvious. There's COVID and there's my coach was dumb. Mostly those two things. I mean, he was dumb. Mm-hmm. Like, I thought you were too hard on him, but Cole Caulfield is the one that's not a line in the sand. That's carved into granite. I was dumb about this. Like, the second Martin St. Louis took over, Caulfield became one of the best goal scorers in the league. Like, that's a big staple, big benchmark that you were dumb about that. Caulfield should have more career points. He should have more career goals. And we all know that he has 50 goal potential. So 7 times 7 is pretty good.
I just want to update you guys on just some breaking news here. This may not be anything, but we know it's coming eventually. Canucks are in morning skate right now. Who's not on the ice for the Canucks?
Horvat.
Bruce Boudreau.
So you say Horvat, Jesse? Mm-hmm. And Steve, you say?
Bruce Boudreau.
Bruce Boudreau is not on the ice. Now, it doesn't mean he's fired per se. One of the assistant coaches.
For 2 weeks.
Yeah, but not yet. Sometimes head coaches don't come out for morning skate. Sometimes.
I think it requires, he's a lame duck coach. I feel really bad for the guy. None of this looks good on the Canucks. Their handling of it and everything. It's gross. I don't like it. I don't like the way Bruce is being treated. And I feel like fans weren't really calling for it. I feel like it's so rare to see a coach fired and have so few fans in a very fiery fan base calling for it.
Interesting. Yeah.
This organization sucks, dude. Let's say what it is. Again, I still think the players have some talent there. And if I'm being totally honest, I wouldn't be shocked by a relatively quick turnaround. Like, you have the work you have.
Isn't that what happened when they fired the last coach? Relatively quick.
No. And by the way, I don't think the turnaround will have anything to do with Tocchet.
Okay.
And this is what the Canucks have done. If they do have a quick turnaround with Rick Tocchet and you start to get all optimistic, it's like, have you learned nothing?
Well, there's a blueprint from last season.
Is a blueprint from last season, right? So when I talk about a recovery or a bounce back or whatever, I'm talking about roster construction. Like, they have very obvious targets. You got to get rid of Myers. You got to get rid of OEL. Those are the big ones. You have a huge decision to make with Horvat. If you keep him, Miller's got to be punted out the door. If you don't, you got to get a king's ransom for it, and then maybe you punt Miller out the door anyway. And even losing Horvat and Miller, you make a few additions in the offseason. As long as you shore up the defense and goaltending, you at very least, as long as you shore up the defense, you have a goaltender in Thatcher Demko. You need to at least have an identity, for God's sake. Their identity is, here's some players. That's not an identity. Are you an offensive team? Are you a grinding team? Are you a smothering defensive team? Are you east-west? You north-south? Are you it's okay to be the Rangers. And Jesse's not going to like this. But the Rangers are very clearly a happy-go-lucky bunch of children and one of the best goalies in the world.
Excuse me?
Jesse, it wins them a lot of games, but the structure is
Panarin,
hilarious.
Mika Zibanejad, Chris Kreider, Adam Fox are just a random bunch of players?
No. I didn't say
what are you talking
random bunch of players. They have an incredible amount of skill, and they get outchanced and outshot a lot, but they have the best goalie in the world and some high percentage shooters, so it doesn't friggin' matter. Say what you will about Randy Carlyle hockey. It's kind of fun when it works, right?
Yes.
It's kind of fun when it works. And they do that a little bit. The Canucks don't have a thing. What is their thing? Their thing is they blow leads. That's not a thing.
They also come back.
That was the Leafs thing a few years ago. They lost.
The Canucks lead the league in comeback wins from down 2 goals or more, which is a ridiculous
for the
stat.
other team, you mean?
Yeah, when they're down.
Yeah.
They lead. They have the most 2-goal comeback wins in the league.
For them.
Yes. They are the leaders on both sides of the being down and the coming back.
Okay.
That's not a thing.
It is.
I guess it's a thing.
Also, funny story about the Vancouver Canucks. This is from Thomas Stranz. They've only won 3 times in regulation since November 28th. No team in the NHL has fewer regulation wins in that span. Anaheim has 4 regulation wins. The Coyotes have 4. Chicago has 5. Columbus has 4. But the Canucks are 7-0 after regulation.
So they're worse than the record shows.
Yeah, if you think they won, they won those games in OT and the shootout. Like that's the rules of the NHL. So I don't know if you think they're worse, but
I know, but that's what
they're
I'm
really
saying.
good at the coin flip part of the game. So they're 7-0 past regulation. They have 3 regulation wins since November 28th. Not good.
Oh,
and Bruce is the problem.
You don't want to be good at the coin flip necessarily.
Right.
Yeah. Ooh.
They need to be a thing. They need to have an
question.
identity. They don't have one.
Who was the coach before Travis Green in Vancouver, guys?
Willie Desjardins?
That's right.
Good guess.
And then it was Travis Green and then Bruce Boudreau.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know, Willie Desjardins worked a little bit in LA afterwards, but not much. Haven't seen Travis Green come back because he's still on retainer with Vancouver. He's still playing out his deal. Does Bruce Boudreau coach again?
He seemed to be pretty close to retired.
Yeah.
Listen, Bruce, come home.
Yeah.
Do a video coach. Do something to come home, Bruce. You cheer for the team. Do what makes your heart happy. You're not on the back 9. This is the back 3 of your career. Come home. Come home and help be part of something special.
I don't think you did that analogy right.
Back 3?
Back 3. He's only got 3 holes left, Jess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not. Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. Okay.
I'm trying to.
That's how he gets. Yeah, back 9.
He
less than
began the back 9 somewhere in the middle of Ovechkin's tenure. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
All right, Jesse.
Jesse.
Fine.
He's sick. Alone, man.
Fine. Fine.
All right. Well, listen. We got a couple options here. We can wrap it up, or we can do a press conference. What do you guys want to do?
I got it in me.
Yeah, let's do a press conference.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Our next product is a pretty cool product and something that I know Jesse really likes.
Woo!
Specifically.
Big boats.
Athletic Greens.
No.
Athletic Greens.
Oh.
And Jesse likes it because, like most people, Jesse is in love with Lewis Hamilton.
Ah,
That's
Lewis.
right.
Oh, Mercedes AMG.
So, Jesse, tell me something.
Yes.
Most green drinks
Yeah.
taste like they're green drinks.
Oh, yeah.
Athletic Greens.
Delicious.
Actually?
Yeah. No,
No BS.
There's it comes with a little like plastic Athletic Greens bottle, and you pour the little powder in there, and then you add some water, and then you shake it, and then you just drink it.
How do you do it? What do you do?
Yeah, shake it.
That's right. 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. It will help your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, your recovery, your focus, your aging, all of those things. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially heading through flu and cold season, right? Because, hey, we're in it, but we're not through it. You know what I'm saying?
Feels like we've been in it for 3 years.
It does. It's just one scoop with a cup of water every day. And Jesse, what do you do with it?
You drink it.
No, come on.
No, after you
Shake it.
you drink it.
To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you 1 free year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is go to athleticgreens.com/SDP. That's athleticgreens.com/SDP to take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Gonna need you to show me how to shake it again.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Now, this is, as of this recording, it's called Blue Monday. But this week is known as one of the hardest weeks of the year for people. They call it the most depressing day of the year, believe it or not. That's why they call it Blue Monday.
January? I could do without it.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
You could skip January.
You could skip January. Could we do an 11-month calendar?
Yeah, 12's too many.
Yeah.
11.
Listen, if you're feeling a little bit down or you're feeling like you want to speak to somebody, BetterHelp might be for you. The thing that they do that is different from a lot of different places is you're able to connect with somebody the way that you want to connect with them. Meaning that if you want to do a video chat, that's fine. If you want to just do it on the phone, that's fine too. If you want to just do text, that's all you're comfortable with. BetterHelp obviously personalizes that experience for you. And if you're not feeling it with your therapist, that's okay. They're going to match you with somebody else too. And so the whole thing about therapy is finding that person that you feel like you click with and you feel like that you can speak honestly to. And BetterHelp definitely helps with that. So if you're thinking of giving a therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option, convenient, flexible, affordable, and entirely online. So if you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/SDP today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/SDP. Think you know which way it's going to go? Make your bet at Sports Interaction. Whether it's hockey, basketball, or the road to the Super Bowl, get in on all the action at Sports Interaction. Bet pregame, live and play, or one of the many prop bets. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now to see all that sports betting has to offer. If you want to bet, head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That is sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. 19 plus, please play responsibly.
We love talking about the salary cap, and we love talking about how they should fix the cap here. But Mikey Lou has a question for us. My question is, with all the salary cap problems with this league, and with folks advocating for a luxury tax system similar to Major League Baseball, I decided to look at the payrolls for the upcoming MLB season. At this time, there are 9 of 30 teams currently below the NHL salary cap. There are also 4 below the NHL's floor. I think we can all agree the NHL cap structure needs fixed, but how would you ensure that owners actually spend and not be like the Pirates or Orioles, where they're happy to just take the revenue sharing and share of league income and sit on it? Side note, Aaron Judge's $40 million AAV is more than the Oakland A's entire roster. So this is an argument.
That's a disgrace,
right? Yeah. When we bring up the cap a lot, we say we want a soft cap, and a lot of people say, "But look at baseball. Look at these teams who purposely just don't spend money." How do you guys respond to that?
Minimum spend. You want to be an NHL owner, you got to spend at least this, and they have one. But here's the problem: is there's teams like the Coyotes who get around it all the time by using LTIR. Right? A lot of teams use LTIR to go over. A lot of teams have used LTIR to go under. Coyotes obviously are one of them. I think the Sens have done it. I think Anaheim's done it. You should listen. If you want to sit at the table with the big boys, Mr. Billionaire, then you got to spend money. You got to make the league look good. And I think investing in players and therefore investing in the fans is good for the league and good for everybody.
I just, if you're going to be involved in competitive sports, there needs to at least be the illusion of trying, for God's sake. Like all the teams in recent memory who have been like complete and utter disasters, like for the NHL, you can point to reasons outside of they're just not trying to be very good. Like I look at the, what was it? The 16-17 Avalanche, the team that I think they had 47, 48 points or something like that. Well, everyone got hurt and they had no goalies. Calvin Pickard played 55 games. Like, right. To have one player on one team make more than an entire roster, 2 entire rosters, the Pirates and the Orioles, you were saying?
Yeah. Well, but the Orioles were, Jesse, they were just like Aaron Judge makes more than the entire Pirates.
Oakland
lineup, right?
A's.
Oakland A's. Yeah. That's just, it's beneath the standard of a professional sport league. Or it should be. Like you're not even trying. So just close the doors then. Close the doors. Like it's so you're ripping your fans off.
In baseball,
they're going because they like baseball, but you're ripping them off.
Right. In baseball, we have seen though, for the argument for this system it's fine because the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, formerly the Devil Rays, now the Tampa Bay Rays, they love to not spend money, but they love to also be good. They've gone to the World Series a couple times. They've been very competitive in the most competitive division in baseball by not spending a lot of money as their competitors. And they have very smart scouting. They have very smart coaching staff. And that's how they choose to do their business. You know? So I don't like the idea of, hey,
the fans also kind of suck too.
And their fans are awful and they don't show up for playoff games and they can't sell them out. So there have been instances of these teams who don't spend a lot of money, who spend as much as their entire roster as other teams spend on one player, beating these teams who spend a bunch of money. So there's no guarantee that spending the money gets you a victory.
The rich teams catch up to the smart teams. Like there's a reason why the team that I watched at the beginning of Moneyball is right back where they were at the beginning of Moneyball here in 2023.
A real estate company owns them. I think they're like a real estate developer in California.
Which team?
The Oakland A's. And they've just kind of petered out, and it's annoying. It's annoying watching them. But yeah, I think you do a minimum spend like the NHL has this year. The cap has a floor. You should have a cap floor to ensure competitive, because certain billionaires going to billionaire, and they're going to be cheap and shitty about it, and they don't give a shit. And what you don't want is what like the Leafs had with Harold Ballard in the 70s, where it was almost like he was so rich and did not give a shit about anybody that it became sort of a joke, and he was almost like antagonistic with the fans, like some of these guys and some of these leagues are. So next question.
This is from Brodzinski. I have Bo Horvat and JT Miller on my fantasy team. To help right the wrongs of this season, do I need to trade JT to make up for Bo probably leaving this year?
I have JT Miller, and I refuse to do it because I just know we all know what he's capable of.
Yeah.
And I just keep fearing that he's just gonna light it up the second I get rid of him. And the other
talking about Steve Luck.
Yeah, and the other if you have both, you hold on to them. Because Miller is going to have increased responsibilities when Horvat leaves. And when Horvat leaves, he's going to go to a better team.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, if you know they're going to get split up, which seems imminent at this point, why would you trade one? No, keep them. That's crazy. Keep both of them.
Okay. This question is from Jay Reddy. It's very fun. Jay Reddy says, I'm on a mission to attend a hockey game at every single NHL arena. I'm currently at 21 of 32.
Wow.
And will be checking off another off my list by seeing the Leafs play the Habs in Montreal this Saturday.
Love that.
The thing is, I also grab a jersey from each arena and have no idea who to get from the Habs roster. Would love your thoughts.
Michael Pezzetta.
You lunatic. Oh my God, that's funny.
100%.
Yeah. Cole Caulfield.
Over Nick? Caulfield. Over Suzuki?
Cole Caulfield. It's cooler.
Suzuki did grow up a Leafs fan, so it'd be fitting.
Yeah.
Could do Suzuki.
Cole Caulfield.
I would get Suzuki.
Get the goal score. I think, guys, I'd like to do that as like a show. I don't know, when our kids are grown or whatever, if we could do that, but I'd really like to do a season where every weekend we're just in a different arena. So one season we do all 32.
Yeah, that's way too much work.
You guys wouldn't do that with me?
That's so much work.
Wouldn't that be sick though? Like an STB tour? Wouldn't that be cool? Come on. It'd be cool.
All right. Well, in 2043, when Leo is an adult.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Come on. It'll be fun.
I feel like people who do those things, like you got to really take off like 3 months of your life.
Well, we just podcast from the road, Jesse.
Hey, but like, what if I want to do other stuff?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I don't want to do that.
You're here forever. Okay.
What if like there's a new season of White Lotus and I want to watch it? Like when there's no hockey on.
Sorry.
Like
you can't watch.
I'm on the road. Like I'm not a WWE superstar. I'm not on the road 180 days of the year. Like, what is this?
Every WWE documentary makes it sound like the worst lifestyle ever.
Did you see Mr. Beast, his latest interview?
No.
Mr. Beast?
Mr. Beast, yeah.
No.
Yeah, he was talking about how there's certain things when he's getting ready to do like a video where he'll work like 8 or 9 straight days and like not sleep. And he's like, I'll be honest with you. He's like, I don't think most people would enjoy this. Like, I don't think most people would enjoy this lifestyle. I'm sure they'd enjoy the money, but I think a lot of people be like, this kind of sucks. Like these hours kind of suck. This pressure kind of sucks. Cause like with Mr. Beast, he's got to outdo all these incredible things that he's already done. Right.
Yeah.
And he's like 21.
Yeah. His mantle is he needs to be the best content creator on earth. And that feels tough.
Fuck me. That's tough, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no, there are days I love what I do. Love what I do. But there are days where I'm like, oh, I got to make another one.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't want to. But imagine and he's got like a whole empire that depends on him. And like, he's provided entire communities with water. You know what I mean? Like that. Oh yeah. Like that dude's like changing the world.
Wow.
And because he's just got so much. He is fascinating. I got to read more about him because he's just a guy who he doesn't seem to hoard the money. He's just like, oh, I got $50 million this week.
Yeah.
Guess I'll spend all of it on all sorts of stuff. Like he just reinvests it in like his programming and I'll just donate a bunch of it and this and that. I don't know. I'm sure I'll read some more and he'll be milkshake ducked, but I generally right now he seems fine.
Anyway, we're going to wrap up the show, gentlemen, but we're really looking forward to next Friday. I'm very excited. We're going to have a really great time in Kingston. We're going to do a lot more live shows. We're going on tour. We're going to see all 32 arenas, and then we're doing the AHL directly afterwards. Okay, that's what we're doing. Okay,
Djurgården,
right?
We're coming to you. Malmö, Jokerit, all of them. We're coming.
Fire burn, baby.
Yeah, fire burn. All of them.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.
The Steve Dangle Podcast.
Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada's sportsbook.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.